Today I'd like to spend a little bit of time talk about two things. One is regarding to the border reopen, which is great news. Every people is expecting that, and apparently it comes a bit earlier than everybody expects. Previously, the Prime Minister was mentioning about somewhere around Easter holiday, but now, it's 21st of February, which is 2 weeks from now. So basically, 2 weeks from now, from the 21st of February, and the people who meeting the requirement of vaccination will be able to enter Australia, regardless what type of visa you're holding. Tourism visa, student visa was being granted exemptions before, but now tourism visa and bridging visas, all those bridging visas, tourism visas, working holiday visas holders will be able to enter Australia as long as you satisfy the criteria, which is vaccinated. Of course, you need to have the visa. In terms of the application itself, we're getting inquiries actually since the announcement. People was asking about the process of applying tourism visa. Currently, I think it will be very similar to what it is before. We all know during the COVID periods, even the processing time, assessment time for tourism visa would take more than before, and some of the tourism visa has never been assessed during the COVID periods. But following this policy, we're assuming the tourism visa will be a process, even might be prioritized in terms of the processing time, because that's a policy aiming for looking to welcome back the tourists back into Australia. So in terms of applying the tourism visa as what it requires by the Department of Home Affairs. That brings to another question. People are asking, how should I be able to prove my vaccinations record? On the website of Department of Home Affairs, there's a particular website there suggesting you had to present the certain kind of certificates to evidence that there was special standard and format requirements. You want to be careful about the format required by the Department of Home Affairs. Normally asking you a piece of statement certificates and contents of all the necessary information, such as the type of the vaccination, and of course your passport numbers and your full names, and all the documents need to be well presented in English. So all those formats requirements, please make sure you follow the documents. And what happened is, when the day you arrive in Australia, in the border of Australia, saying Sydney Airport, before you enter Australia at the border, you had to present. I assuming you'll be asked to present the certificates of vaccination to the officer before allowing you enter the border. So that's something you want to bring with you, and that's something you want to prepare before you come to Australia. So again, it's very good news for the tourism, any people looking to come to Australia for travels and for works, and the borders completely open. It's a day, 21st of February will be the day we will take as the end of the COVID periods in terms of border closure. Exactly 2 years. So that's very good news for everyone. We're going to see more people come back to Australia, and we all know there was a big shortage of laborers in Australia across different industries, and that will be solved quickly if there are laborers coming into Australia, particularly saying those people who have work rights. So that's great news for the tourism visa holders. And if you want to apply for tourism visa, you can do it now actually. Just be aware, now it's a lift of the restriction. It does not necessarily say the processing and the assessment of visitor visa itself will be easier than before. That's not the conclusion. And you shouldn't have the presumption that visitor visa will be easier to apply than what is it before, and it will be still strict. But we're still going to assuming you should be well prepared for the tourism visa application. Namely, of course, when it comes to tourism visa assessments, the requirement is actually a little bit different from country to country. So, citizens from certain country will be required to provide financial evidence and other documents as well. So you need to be well prepared. But one of the assessment criteria has been there always is the case officer want to see you still have good enough connections to your home country. So if you're applying for tourism visa, do not leave the impression in any way to the case officer you're seeking to stay in Australia for long term. That means you try to be here on a tourism visa, and then you try to go for other visa, and then eventually probably stay in Australia temporarily for a long time or even permanently. Even that is what going to happen following the visa application. But when it comes to the assessment of the tourism visa itself, the officer is looking for the intention of the applicants. That is mainly for those people seeking tourism purpose in Australia. So when you present your documents, you want to present all those financial connections, job connections, family connections to your home country, and you want to present your travel plans in Australia. Some countries will suggest to present the tickets, which is return tickets. But as I'm saying, applicants from different countries were subject to different requirements in general. But again, you'll be able to apply the tourism visa, which is a great news. So that's a bit of summarize what happens. The biggest news we see in the past few weeks, which is the border is completely opened before every people expected, which is great news. Thank you very much.